Good morning, good morning. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Namaste the Soul with Elle. I am so grateful you are here today with me. Whether you're enjoying your morning coffee, a warm matcha, your favorite tea, or a glass of water, or simply taking a few moments before your day begins, thank you for inviting me into your morning. Today's topic is about anxiety. It's part of our survival mode series. And when you have anxiety, guess what? It becomes your default. Yesterday, we talked about something that touches so many of our lives: living in survival mode. We learned that survival mode isn't who we are. It's our nervous system trying to protect us from experiencing trauma, loss, emotional pain, chronic stress, or living on high alert for way too long. Today, we're talking and taking the conversation one step further. We're talking about anxiety. As we know, they've even made songs about it, right? If you ever laid awake at night because your mind wouldn't stop racing, if you've ever felt your heart pounding with no apparent reason, if you've ever overthought a conversation for hours, or if you've ever felt completely exhausted while your brain refused to slow down, this episode is for you. Before we begin, let's take our morning breath together. Close your eyes. Let yourself get comfortable. Take a slow breath in through your nose. Hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now release through your mouth. Again, breathe in peace. And breathe out fear. One more time. Breathe in calm. And slowly release everything you've been carrying. That's beautiful, right? Let's begin. What is anxiety? Let's start with something important. Anxiety is not a weakness. It isn't a lack of faith. It doesn't mean you're broken. Anxiety is your body's alarm system. Imagine having a smoke detector in your home. It's its job to alert you, right? That there's a fire. Now imagine that smoke detector became so sensitive it went off every time you made a piece of toast. The detector isn't bad. It's doing what it was designed to do. It just became overly sensitive. That's often what anxiety feels like. Your nervous system is sounding an alarm because it believes something might be wrong, even when you're safe. It alerts you, danger, danger. For many people, anxiety isn't about what's happening today. It's about what their brain learned years ago. So let me explain. Fear versus anxiety. People often use fear and anxiety as they are the same thing. They're actually different. Fear is a response to something happening right now. It's a car that swerves into your lane. That's fear. If you see a dangerous animal on a hiking trail, that's fear. A snake, a scorpion, right? Fear protects us in real situation. Anxiety is different. Anxiety worries about what might happen. That is where you've heard the fear of the unknown, right? And that's where the word fear comes in, and that's where people think fear and anxiety are one and the same. What if I fail? What if they don't like me? What if something bad happens? What if I lose everything? What if I'm not enough? Your brain begins creating stories about the future, trying to prepare you for every possible outcome. The problem is, most of these things never happen, yet your body experiences them as though they are real. Think about that. This is why survival mode creates anxiety. When we've spent years in survival mode and our nervous system gets used to scanning for danger, it becomes hypervigilant. always watching, always listening, always preparing. Your brain starts believing that if it worries enough, it can prevent pain. So it keeps asking, what am I missing? What could go wrong? What should I prepare for next? The truth is, your brain isn't trying to make you miserable. It's trying to make sure you survive. But after years of living this way, survival becomes your default setting. And that's exhausting. I know it. I lived it. Here's my story. For years, I didn't understand why I couldn't relax. Even when life was going well, I was waiting for something, the other shoe to drop, right? If I received good news, I immediately wondered what bad news was coming next. If things felt peaceful, I questioned how long it would last. My mind was always trying to stay one step ahead. I thought worrying meant I was being responsible. I thought preparing for every possible outcome would keep me safe. Instead, it kept me trapped. Think about that. My body didn't even know how to rest. My mind didn't know how to be still. Looking back now, I understand why. My nervous system had spent so many years living in survival mode that I forgot what safety felt like. Maybe you've experienced that too. Maybe you've caught yourself feeling guilty for relaxing or unable to enjoy the present because you're already worrying about tomorrow. If that's you, I want you to know something. You're not losing your mind. You're not weak. Your nervous system is simply doing what it learned to do. The beautiful news is that you can learn something different. Here's what anxiety can feel like. Anxiety doesn't look the same for everyone. For some people, it's racing thoughts. For others, it's trouble sleeping. Maybe it's a tight chest, a racing heart, sweaty palms, brain fog, difficulty concentrating, feeling restless, always expecting bad news, overthinking every conversation, or feeling exhausted even after a full night's sleep. These are all ways your body says, I am trying to protect you. The goal isn't to fight your body. The goal is to gently teach it that you're safe. How to begin to calm your nervous system. Healing doesn't begin by forcing yourself to say, stop worrying. if it was only that easy, right? It begins with compassion for yourself. When anxiety shows up, pause. Take one slow breath. Remind yourself, I am safe in this moment. Look around the room. Notice 5 things that you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This simple grounding exercise gently reminds your nervous system that you're here, not back in the past. Healing isn't about feeling anxious again. It's about learning how to respond differently when anxiety visits. This week's challenge. This week, every time you notice anxiety showing up, instead of criticizing yourself, ask yourself one gentle question. What is my nervous system trying to protect me from? You don't have to judge the answer. Just notice it. Awareness creates space for healing. Think about that. Awareness creates space for healing. So today's affirmation, place your hand over your heart, take one slow breath, and repeat after me. I am safe. I release fear. I welcome peace. My nervous system is learning a new way. I don't have to carry yesterday into today. I trust myself. I trust my healing. One breath at a time. I choose peace over panic. I choose faith over fear. I choose healing. Wow. Thank you for spending part of your day with me today. If today's episode resonated with you, I hope you'll share it with someone who may be silently struggling with anxiety. Sometimes simply knowing you are not alone can be the first step toward healing. If you'd like to continue this journey, my book, Living in Survival Mode for Too Long, shares more of my personal story, practical tools, and encouragement for anyone ready to move from survival mode to truly living. You can find it on Amazon, and I sincerely hope it becomes a source of hope and healing for you. Tomorrow we continue our survival mode series as we explore the 4 trauma responses: fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. Understanding these responses can help explain so many of the ways we react to stress and remind us that our responses are adaptations, not flaws. Remember, adaptations, not flaws. Until then, be gentle with yourself. Healing doesn't happen overnight. It happens one breath, one choice, one day at a time. And remember, you are enough. You are worthy. You are deeply loved. This is Namaste the Soul with Elle. Until next time, I love you. Namaste.